Hello, and welcome. Welcome on into the Swear Word. I'm your host, Brandon Swear, and hey, this is a podcast for the chilihead community, by the chilihead community. Regardless of your spice tolerance, this is the place for you. Man, we have an amazing episode here tonight. Cannot wait to dive in. We have 3 sauces on deck for Hot or Not. We have an amazing guest, locked and loaded, hometown DFW episode, as well as we have the 5 coming back. So, episode 71 starts now. Hey, welcome on in, Swear Nation. So glad to have everyone here, rocking and rolling. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for being here. You know, we're continuing to grow out the community here, so share this out with other like-minded chiliheads, and let's continue to drive the passion for capsaicin around the world. So, hey, we have a very amazing episode here tonight. We have a DFW strong episode going on. We have 3 sauces on deck for Hot or Not tonight. These are from Couture and Kick, as well as we have David himself from Couture and Kick lined up, ready to go for our interview tonight. And then, of course, we brought back the 5. So if this is your first time checking out the show, thank you so much for being here. You can play along with the game. If you would have selected a different order than David did tonight, let us know in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and start tonight's episode. Hey, welcome on into Hot or Not. Tonight we have 3 amazing sauces on deck from Couture and Kick. We have the Guajillo sauce, we have Manzano sauce, number 13, and then we have the Habanero sauce, all from Couture and Kick, local DFW hot sauce company. So, looking forward to diving into these. Let's go ahead and start out with the Guajillo sauce. So, as you can see here, a nice close-up of what the sauces look like. Nice, very clean appeal on the labeling. Love the overall color to these sauces. Another thing to note, all of these sauces are fermented, so they should have a very nice body to the sauce and a fermented flavor as well. Let's go ahead and grab the Guajillo. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a good shake. It does have the perforated pull tab here on the side. I'm going to go ahead and get that a nice little pull. Simple as that. Nice overall color to the sauce. You're seeing a dark, deep red, and really it looks like it's got a nice medium consistency going on here. Pop the top on that seal. Oh, wow. Right off the bat, you are getting greeted with the guajillo pepper aroma. You're picking up what smells like a little bit of onion, some vinegar. There's just a great overall body to this sauce that you're able to pick up. It's still, while it has this bold complexities to it, you're also still getting a nice, fresh, crisp note to it. So excited to see what this one is all about. If this is your first time checking out the show, I do things a bit different. I do not like to look at the ingredients ahead of schedule. I like to let my taste buds do the exploration for me. And then from there, I dive into the ingredients. And I do break things down into 5 different categories. Those categories are heat, aroma, flavor, versatility, and burn. And yes, heat and burn are 2 different things in my books. Heat is that first initial pop, max 30-second time window. After that is where it sits, how it sits, does it build, does it intensify, does it migrate around, where and how, and what happens is really built into that burn. So let's go ahead and get a good pour. Oh yeah, nice consistency to this, nice medium flow, great looking color in this sauce. Excited to dive in here. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. It really opens up the overall aroma on the spoon. So you're getting a nice note of aroma from the bottle, but the second it comes out of that bottle, the brightness of the notes just really amplify. All right, here we go. Guajillo from Culture and Kick. It has a beautiful, silky smooth taste, great fruity body right off the bat from the pepper taste itself. Then you're getting a nice note of the earthiness. You're getting a nice smoky tone. You're also getting, a nice, maybe that's onion, nice little like savory bit to it as well. And then you're getting a nice crisp note that kind of comes in towards the finish on this sauce. Absolutely amazing. The guajillo pepper is the key focal point from start to finish on this sauce. I mean, when you're thinking of a Mexican table sauce, that is it. That is phenomenal. That is from Culture and Kick, guajillo. Absolutely love it. Let's talk about the heat. So, if you're just starting out, you're just getting going, this is going to be one that will be hot, sure, for you, but it's not going to really be able to, absolutely put you in a world of pain. Obviously, moderation is key if you're definitely just starting out and you're brand new to hot sauce. Moderation is key on that. But this is going to be one that if you're pushing your tolerance, you're always trying to work on your personal best. This can be a nice mild to medium sauce, depending on where you're at. And you're going to be able to really lather this one up. And it's going to sing beautifully on a ton of Mexican dishes. I'm already picturing how amazing this is going to go on some breakfast burritos, some enchiladas, some quesadillas, like taquitos, all the things that I can think of. I'm going to be slathering this thing up on. Of course, tacos for sure. But breakfast burritos, this just like is singing in my head. Use me on a breakfast burrito. So, man, absolutely loving the overall heat on this. The burn. So as the heat comes on, it kind of hits the front of the mouth a little bit, but it really kind of just gravitates towards the middle of the mouth and just kind of sits there on the tongue, does its thing, and it just has a nice little sizzle. Nothing too crazy. Now, for the burn, it's still just, it really resides on the middle of the tongue. Nothing really goes to the back of the mouth. Nothing hits the front of the gums. That kind of recedes back from that initial heat and really just sits there on that center mouth. It does start to dial back as the burn goes on. So it ends up hitting, holds for a bit. I would say probably about 40 to 50 seconds. It'll hold about that same heat from the start. And then from there, it really just starts to taper off. But this is not one that you're just going to use once. You're going to be able to lather this up on your food, incorporate this amazing flavor into every bite that you're getting, and really be able to enjoy yourself on this one. The overall versatility. Now, I just briefly talked about what I could see myself really utilizing this on. Now, with that also being said, this is not one that I would be gearing towards a dessert. It's not meant to be a dessert sauce. So no harm, no foul on that. So overall versatility, very versatile in the realm of normal dishes, everyday things, but you're not going to be utilizing this as a dessert, not going to really be incorporating this into a drink per se. So there we go for versatility. Now we briefly talked about the aroma and the flavor. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and read off some ingredients here, and then we'll go ahead and input the scores. All right, so let's check out these ingredients here on guajillo from Culture and Kick. Here they are. Ingredients are dried guajillo chilies, serrano peppers, onion, garlic, vinegar, xanthan gum. Absolutely phenomenal job. Very limited ingredients, very pepper forward with a nice savory balance to the overall sauce. You're getting a nice kiss of the overall fermented taste as well. Absolutely love how this was executed. The garlic and the onion notes really are able to blend together harmoniously and provide that savory nature to this sauce while not being overpowering in either of those areas. So, great job here with Guajillo from Culture and Kick. Let's go ahead and we'll read off some scores for Guajillo. So heat coming in at 2.7, aroma of 4.14, flavor of a 4, versatility of a 4, a burn of a 2.7 for a total swear word rating of 3.51. There we go. Amazing sauce from Culture and Kick. That was Guajillo. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the next sauce, Manzano. All right. Manzano from Culture and Kick. This is a limited batch. He does a monthly rotating different sauce. This month happens to be Manzano. So super excited to check this one out. Manzano is a very cool pepper. For any of y'all that are not familiar with it, it has a very unique burn profile, very unique taste. It's a thicker walled pepper. It's probably about the size of and one of those cutie oranges, and really it has some very interesting characteristics. Oftentimes people will see black seeds in a pepper and they think, oh, this is bad. Well, the Manzano pepper actually has black seeds as they are intended to be. So very unique in that sense. This is the sauce of the month, limited edition. This is the Manzano from Culture and Kick. Let's go ahead and get this one opened up. Oh, wow. Aroma-wise, very bright pop. You're picking up some onions, maybe some carrots. Overall, very nice body on this. You're picking up definitely the Manzano pepper in the aroma, but it has a nice savory depth to this sauce. So let's go ahead and give it a good pour. Color, consistency. Color is this nice bright orange pop. Very vibrant color. Very eye-appealing. The pour looks like a nice medium consistency. Once it gets going, it's going. Has a nice silky look to the sauce itself. Oh, yeah. The second you get on the spoon, it really opens up the overall aromas on this. Definitely picking up some garlic. Definitely picking up, it smells like onion. It smells like garlic. It smells like maybe some carrot. And once again, picking up the peppers. So, cheers. Wow. Wow. All right. Right off the bat, first thing you're greeted with is a very nice, soothing texture to the sauce that instantly goes into a nice onion, carrot, garlicky, a savory depth to this. Then you're greeted with the Manzano pepper and absolutely beautiful body to that pepper that then starts to turn up the heat as you're starting to get that flavor of that. And then the garlic kind of comes back into the fold from a taste profile. As it sends off, it's just the Manzano and a nice kiss of garlic. Absolutely love this one. Phenomenal sauce here. This is going to be a very, very quick use bottle in my house. I will be enjoying this one for sure. Let's talk about the heat. So we just reviewed Guajillo, and now this Manzano. I would say the Manzano is a nice step up from Guajillo. So once again, if you're just starting out, you're brand new to hot sauce, you're brand new to really spicing up your food, this is going to be for you a nice medium on the overall scale of things. This has a very unique overall burn. So with the Manzano, it ends up hitting initially the gums, but then it really latches on towards the mid of the mouth, and it ends up coating the whole roof, the gums, the middle of the tongue, and just kind of parks there. You get just a faint amount on the back of the throat, nothing too crazy, but all in all, phenomenal. If you're pushing yourself, if you're always working on your personal best for your tolerance, this is going to be a nice medium to mild to medium sauce, depending on where you're at. But absolutely amazing. The Manzano has a very unique burn, so love that too. It's not something you commonly see. So definitely the unique nature is also very nice to see and to experience. The overall versatility on this sauce, once again, not geared towards desserts, wouldn't really be using it there, but definitely any kind of Mexican dish. I'm going to be utilizing this on some pizzas, some sandwiches, some burgers, you name it. I'm going to be throwing this on there. It's going to be a very nice pairing. If you're looking for a nice savory depth with a kiss of heat, man, this is it. This is the one. I'm salivating like crazy over this sauce. The overall fermented note to it, while it's still there, still noticeable and prevalent, it's not that pronounced. So you're getting a lot more from the overall ingredients than you are getting from that fermented note that kind of comes through on a lot of fermented sauces. All right, so ingredients for Manzano are Manzano peppers, bell peppers, carrots, arbol chilies, onion, garlic, vinegar, and xanthan gum. Absolutely phenomenal job here. The arbol chilies on this, I'm going to go ahead and think this is probably what I'm getting off that initial pop from this sauce itself. I think the Manzano is really kind of what's carrying it through on the latter half of this burn. It has a nice overall transition between the two. You know, arbol chilies can have a nice earthy, smoky note to this. It really lends itself great to this sauce because between the onion, the garlic, and the peppers and carrots, this really just brings out and accentuates those other ingredients in there, allowing this to just sing through. And, the kudos for use on the Manzano pepper because you were able to execute it in a way that you're able to still really enjoy this sauce and pick up that note in particular more so than, say, have it just being washed out or blended in with the rest of the ingredients. So absolutely love what's going on here from Couture and Kick. This is the Manzano limited edition release for the month of January. So heat coming in at 3.11, aroma of 4.2, flavor of 4.23, versatility of a 4, and a burn for 3.11 for a total swear word rating of 3.73. There we go. That's another amazing sauce. This one is from Couture and Kick, Manzano. Very unique, very limited run. Grab yourself some if you can. If you're local to the area, I highly recommend checking this one out. Let's jump into the habanero sauce from Couture and Kick. All right, so once again, nice perforated pull tab on the side of this bottle. Just quickly and simply grab it and twist it around. So give it a good shake. Nice bright orange on this one. Much more of an overall bright pop to it than the Manzano. The Manzano had a little bit more of a deeper, darker orange as to where this is a very vibrant orange. So loving the look of this. It's very eye appealing, very simplistic, very clean, very elegant on the labeling. Love the visual pop, letting you know, hey, small batch, this is fermented, but also it just shows exactly what you're about to get into. And I'm loving what's going on here. Oh, wow. All right. Aroma-wise, right off the bat, you're picking up a lot of the habanero. You're picking up what smells to be a little bit of onion, possibly garlic as well. Once again, loving the overall aroma of this. Let's dive in and give it a good pour. Medium consistency again. Nice flow rate on this sauce. It opens up just a little bit more, but not quite as much as the last two sauces. So Guajillo and Manzano, the aroma is much more pronounced on the spoon than in the bottle, as to where with the habanero, it's about the same in the bottle as on the spoon from an aroma standpoint. Maybe a little bit more pronounced with the habanero notes, but you're not picking up the onion, etc. more so. Wow. That is amazing. Get greeted immediately with a nice habanero taste. You're also getting a nice kiss of what is a little bit of an earthy, a little bit of a savory, sweet note that kind of comes through. The complexities of this sauce transitioning through the whole flavor profiles is pretty unique. I do like the way that you're greeted with the habanero up front, a nice savory note that kind of comes in. Then it transitions into a little bit of a sweet, almost kind of like an earthy note, and then back to a very bright habanero taste, and then finishing with that habanero note the whole way through. Just absolutely loving this. If you're just starting out, this one's going to be probably a little bit too hot for you if you're just getting going. If you started and you're really starting to really venture out into that, this is going to be a nice medium heat sauce for you. If you are, constantly pushing your tolerance, you're constantly working on, your own personal best, this is going to be a nice medium to mild, depending on where you're at, but probably a more medium sauce for you. Between this and the Manzano, I would say this is a little bit hotter than the Manzano, but it has a much more different and unique burn, as to where the Manzano kind of was a slow roar, sizzle, if you will, kind of on the tongue. This one's a little bit more in your face, a little bit more of a sting. Initially hits the gums, hits the tongue, latches on, does its thing. From there, it starts to hit to the middle of the mouth, touches just a little bit on the back of the throat. Not too bad. Overall, amazing flavor. I'm salivating like crazy over this one. I'm definitely going to be using this one on pizzas, on tacos, on sandwiches, in my salad. You name it, this thing's going to be going on it. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal for all those. Not one that I would be gearing towards a dessert. Not meant for dessert, so no harm, no foul. Burn-wise, if you're just starting out, moderation is key. You could definitely incorporate this into, say, a sauce if you're truly just starting out and you're worried about how this could be potentially too hot for you, but you really wanted to check it out. Incorporating it into your food, incorporating it into a sauce will kind of cut that heat, allow you to get all that amazing flavor and experience the heat on a toned down version. But if you are pushing yourself, this is going to be something that would be a nice medium for you, depending on where you're at in your journey. All right, so let's read off some ingredients here. This is habanero from Couture and Kick. We have ingredients of habanero peppers, bell peppers, carrots, onion, vinegar, and xanthan gum. Once again, very well executed, very minimal ingredients, done in a very well-balanced way, and really highlighting the overall focal point in this sauce being the habanero. If you are one that enjoys the habanero taste and the way that the habanero burns, this is going to be right up your alley. This is going to be one that will also be beneficial for those that, maybe they're afraid of eating, a fresh pepper itself, because oftentimes you jump in and what you commit to is what you commit to. The same thing can happen with sauce, except for you can regulate overall how much you're taking in at one point. So great sauce for you there. We have heat coming in at 3.4, aroma of a 4, flavor of a 4, versatility of a 4, and a burn of 3.55 for a total swear word rating of 3.79. Once again, this is habanero from Couture and Kick. Another amazing sauce in this lineup. If you are looking to keep up with Culture and Kick and check out what they have going on and where you can find them, I'll have all the links for that directly down below. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the interview. Hey, David, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Getting this going is going to be a lot of fun because you are in such a close proximity, as we found out meeting at North Texas Hot Sauce Fest. It's one of those things that it's cheering for the hometown right here, right now. This episode is
Yeah,
is
I appreciate
all
it.
all hometown. So excited for what you have going on. I know I got to see your lineup, like I said, at North Texas Hot Sauce Fest, and was really impressed by what you're doing and the overall presentation that you have going on. So excited to dive in and learn a little bit more about Culture and Kick. One thing I always like to jump off with is what got you into the world of spice, and what made you decide, hey, you're going to go start your own hot sauce.
Uh, so my dad was a chef, and we grew up always cooking around the house. Um, I still cook a lot, so um, I've kind of always been in the culinary, liking to try stuff scene. And my nephew, it came to my attention that he was really into hot sauce. He's like 10 years old, and so I figured I'd give a go at making something for him, and it turned out good, and people wanted it, and people wanted to buy it, and that actually ended up being my original Serrano sauce that I still make.
Very nice. Okay. Okay. What year did you end up getting started with that?
It's actually about a year ago now.
Oh, very nice. Well,
Yeah,
congratulations
still
on the
still
on
pretty
the
new.
yeah, yeah. Well, hey, new but growing at a nice rate. From what at least what I can see on my side. Obviously, there's the business side, and then there's the overall production and product being put out. The growth that you've been able to have, reflective through these sauces that it was able to try tonight. It's definitely speaking volumes. So I know you also have a limited batch that you'll run. It's monthly,
Yeah,
correct?
so I've got four sauces that I keep in stock that I do all the time, and then nice thing about being real small is I have the flexibility to just throw together something new every month. And so I do a hot sauce of the month that comes out the first weekend market, and it sells until it's gone. And then something else comes out the next month.
Very nice. Now, do you grow the peppers yourself, or how do you go about getting your peppers?
So this year I did grow like 16 different varieties that I tried. I only grew a couple of each because I didn't know what was going to work well in my area or what I was going to do well with. Um, but I saved everything from the whole season, and I'm going to actually release that sauce for February, just my garden peppers, a red sauce and a green sauce.
Okay, okay. So then
But
February, for all those that are local, we'll have a dual month sauce going on.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The rest I get from produce suppliers, just local. But I've got a couple people I work with.
Yeah. Well, I asked that because the manzano pepper is a very, one that's not commonly talked about. Phenomenal pepper in its overall body. It's a very thick walled, but it has a unique burn to it. And for all those that are unfamiliar with it, it also has, it is intentionally black seeds. It's not black seeds as in they're
Right.
bad seeds. That's just how the seeds come out. So it's a very unique pepper. So, how did you go about selecting that one for the sauce?
So part of how I come up with some of my ideas are just going to like the Mexican market. And so I was actually wandering around the Fiesta in Irving, um, over by my office, and I saw those. They're an odd size pepper. They're much smaller than a bell pepper, but they're you know 10 times the size of a habanero. And I'd never seen them before. And I kind of looked into them a little bit, and just, well, one of those inspiration things. I was like, I can give this a shot. Tried it. They taste awesome. They're hot, but they're not super hot. Um, but yeah, I went with it. Made a little blend, and you know each month is kind of rolling the dice because you never know exactly how it's going to turn out. I bottle and sell it if it's a home run or if it's a fly out. It's going on the shelf either way. So, and this one turned out really well. I'm happy about it.
Very nice. Yeah, I was very excited to see that one and be able to try that one. Like I said, it is a very unique burn to this overall pepper. And for those, as you were describing, for those that uh, are not familiar with this pepper, it almost is the size, if you will, of like a miniature apple. So it's like it's in between
Yeah,
a habanero to a miniature apple size. It is phenomenal. Uh, it's a very unique one. I don't know how else to describe it other than it is just very unique. It tends to thrive in colder climates. That's another reason why we don't see it too much here in Texas. But it is a great pepper to be able to see it in this sauce.
yeah. I'm I don't try to loop back as often as I could with some of these sauces, but I'm gonna have to bring this one back as soon as I can.
Okay, so you mentioned you started out with the Serrano sauce. That was kind of your inspiration. Was really kind of crafting a sauce, ultimately geared towards your family member, and then from there, where has your inspiration kind of come from? Your overall idea and drive behind each sauce that you've rolled out since.
I mostly go in the like Mexican food direction with most of my sauces, um, just because I love Mexican food. And yeah, so the uh, the progression was really just kind of trying something new, um, to take to the market. Because in the beginning I only had a couple of flavors and was like, well, I'm gonna have to make something else. You're not gonna just sit at the market with two flavors forever.
Yep.
Um, and so the uh, the guajillo sauce is probably my best seller, and it really is just a red version of the serrano sauce. Um, yeah, it's about half serranos and half guajillo chilies, and it is even better than the serrano. um, and um, yeah, just trying new stuff and something stick. A couple have stuck around for seemingly forever. So yeah, just trial and error.
And for all those that are just now tuning in, your sauces as well are fermented. So how do you go about that process? Is every ingredient that you put in the overall blend fermented all together, or do you have some fresh ingredients that you mix in there after the fermentation?
Yeah, so up to now I've been fermenting everything all together. Um, I do about a month ferment on most things. I'm gonna play with that a little bit this year coming up, and I have a couple ideas for. I'd like to try a dessert sauce, something with like blackberries, something like that, and that would probably be a lot of uh, fresh fruit going in after the ferment. But still, I'm still playing around with it. Um, yeah, that's
Okay. No, blackberry dessert sauce sounds phenomenal. As you were saying that, I was picturing in my head a blackberry and like a dark cherry sauce would be, a nice overall fruity body. Have that different complexities of each one. The slight bitter and slight tartness from both of those in such a unique way, but having that nice balance of sugar to be able to kind of keep everything in line. Sounds like a very interesting blend on that potential sauce. One question that always comes up a lot too is really gaining an understanding of your overall. Is there a preferred heat level that you like to stick around, or a sauce that you really find yourself using on an everyday?
I gotcha. Yeah. Most of my sauces are catering to kind of the everyday folk. It's nothing against the chili heads like yourself out there. Um, but the market crowd really, and that's where I'm doing most of my business is just farmers markets, and they won't even stop at your booth if you have something with like Carolina Reapers on a sign. They're just heading right by. So most of my sauces are, you know, I call them. I sort of have a rating system according to my palate,
Uh-huh.
and they end up sort of in the range of what you'd see for buffalo wing sauce heat levels. Like the hottest sauces that I regularly make, my habanero is kind of a the hottest I would put on wings. Um, I'm not a super, you know, pepperhead, really spicy hot sauce kind of guy, but I do like some heat. Um, yeah, so, but at the same time, because I do the monthly sauce, I can do some things that are for the the people who want something hotter. Um, I did a 7 pot sauce last year that a lot of people liked, and a couple of things with Scotch bonnets.
I bet this hatch one was
Um,
a big hit as well. Definitely at the farmers markets.
yeah, yeah. The hatch crowd is definitely the farmers market crowd.
Oh, for sure. A hatch is a very great pepper to make, whether that be a salsa or a hot sauce out of. I also saw you had poblano on there too. Poblano is definitely one of those that I love to incorporate in almost all my cooks. Whenever I'm making like a soup or a stew or something of that
Mhm.
nature, and I want some of that earthy notes, but that great body and that great depth to it. And it's definitely still something that's friendly for some of my kids that are, maybe not. So my two youngest are not quite um, to the whole spicy level, but then again, they're 4 and 5. They have no reason to really be burning themselves up right now. But my youngest, she's ate a few jalapenos with me before, but she'll get about halfway through the pepper and then want to basically back off and switch that out. So, understandably so. But
Yeah.
the 7 pot sauce sounds pretty good too. I do love a good 7 pot pepper. There's very few that I can think of that just aren't. They're either non. I guess the best way to put it is unrecognizable. Like there's no really distinguishing differences amongst them, or they tend to have just an overly bitter note. And those are kind of just few and far between. And really, those kind of have weeded themselves, it seems like, out of the whole pepper community.
Yeah, I found somebody selling some 7 pot brain strain and just jumped on it and yeah, threw that right in a ferment as fast as I could get it.
Oh, definitely. That is a solid one for sure. It is one of those that I've mentioned quite a few times that's up there for my top contender, a favorite of all time favorite pepper. So definitely can't go wrong with that. I love all the different varieties of the brain strain, and there for a while I was trying to get my hands on any and every different iteration, cross, whatever of the brain strain. And man, I don't know. Like at the end of the day, it comes back to the the reds, of course, are very solid, but the chocolate and the mustard brain strains are probably my favorite. The yellows are phenomenal for flavor, but whenever you get that nice balance of heat and overall bold body to the pepper, and both that mustard and that chocolate just kind of do it for me.
Gotcha.
Okay, so as far as currently, what you have going on, I assume you're making and bottling and labeling everything yourself. Is that the case?
It's me. You're looking at it. Actually, behind this curtain is half of my all my inventory, and uh, ferments are back there too. So
Okay. Well, with the reason why I asked that is obviously that's it's a pretty big load to be able to kind of get this whole thing rolling, everything from like planning everything out to making sure everything's done correctly, bottling all the everything. But then on top of that, having a family, having another job, it all these things really become a little bit of a struggle, if you will. How have you found that balance to really work out for you?
yeah, so part of it was limiting the number of sauces I'm going to carry all the time. Um, and really, aside from that, uh, as I've grown, I've really taken the time to improve my processes and reinvest everything that I'm making to buy better equipment to save time and save labor. Um, it hasn't put a lot of money in my pocket, but I enjoy it so much that I'm just gonna just keep rolling with what I've got. And yeah, it passes some free time. I like doing markets. I like cooking. I like doing all the fermenting and bottling and labeling. And up till now, I've been able to do it without really blowing out every moment that I have, with the wife and kids. So
Yeah. No, that's a great thing to hear because oftentimes I'll ask others, that are coming on here that are in a similar position. It's either one or two man show type of situation going on, and it can get daunting at times. So to know that you've had the opportunity to really recognize keeping a more focused lineup as far as what you're offering and being able to invest back into the company. And as you're saying, you know, it may not be exactly putting something back in your pocket, but being able to streamline the flow of what you're getting done. It sounds like you're able to potentially execute on that faster and at a higher quantity than what you may have started out doing.
yeah, I can keep my quality where I want it and increase the quantity. A lot of the stuff, when you keep things simple, you can sort of exponentially grow your quantities without exponentially digging into your time. So that's kind of where I've also gone really in the last couple of months, is switching from doing a small batch of every sauce when I'm running low to now just doing big batches of single sauces at a time. And yeah, and just carrying a little more inventory and being okay with that.
Now, I know that you said you do a lot of your business at the farmers markets and everything you have as far as like your main focus. Now, as far as you just did the one in Keller this what last weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and so as you've kind of gotten through this, is there certain avenues or areas that you've kind of found to work better for you? Like obviously the Keller one was recent, but is there certain ones that you tend to do better at?
As far as farmers markets go, Keller's the only one that I've done so far. I've done a few events here and there, and I've got some groups of hobbies I've had in the past that I'm still friends with a lot of the guys that I still sell quite a bit of hot sauce to. Um, but yeah, I'm looking to grow quite a bit this year, so I'm going to try to do a lot more of the special events and stuff with the other and in the North Texas hot sauce guys, that sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. The North Texas hot sauce event, I think, is something that, this being its second year running, it is an amazing event. It is a very intentional event as far as what you're gonna find there. There's no extra fluff of this and that. They got the food obviously to help either ease the stomach or cool you down, whatever you're trying to seek out. But all in all, you got the drinks, you got the food, and a whole bunch of hot sauce vendors that are dedicated and passionate. So it's a great place to be. And I've heard from so many that they've been able to network and really pick through pitfalls and what have you. Have you had any real success through networking in that manner to be able to kind of essentially talk shop for the business side of things?
Oh, for sure. That hot sauce festival was one of my highlights of the year last year. Not just for the festival itself, but getting to meet a lot of the guys who've been doing it a lot longer than I have, and ask questions and change things that I was doing that I definitely needed to stop doing. There's definitely a lot of people out there in this industry and community who are more than willing to share advice and help and answer questions, and just it's fun. I'm enjoying the whole hot sauce community.
Definitely, I can see how that would be a very pivotal, almost a nice springboard type of moment to be able to be at that event, and the plethora of knowledge across the board. Even others that are just starting out to be able to learn from maybe something they've experienced and avoid that for yourself as well has got to be pretty nice to be able to kind of take advantage of, if you will. So, is there a sauce that whether they be at that event or not, is there a company that had a sauce that really kind of stuck out to you, and you're like, oh man, this one grabbed my attention? Because I know that was the number one question that I got while at that event, was which sauce stood out the most to me.
Well, yeah, there was a couple. Um, I'd say one that I still have in my fridge that I use. It it's sort of at the top of my um, hot sauce heat level that I put on my food regularly, but Limagorgon
Oh yes,
from Tot Sauce. Yeah, that
that
one.
that
It's
has a
good. It's kind of
great citrus
like
taste.
a hot lemon pepper kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a great one. I love the graphics, and I love the taste. It has that nice zesty pop to it.
Hmm.
So definitely a phenomenal one. Does your wife also eat spicy food as well, or how does she
Not
fare?
at all. No, my wife doesn't really like hot food. Um, I have a 4-year old. She doesn't eat spicy food. My mom doesn't eat spicy food. Um, but that's actually what led me to make my poblano sauce that I intentionally made that has no heat at all. There's not a whole lot of hot sauce vendors that you can walk up to and find a sauce that you can give to your 2-year old,
Yep.
um, or anyone else in the family who would like something to put on their tacos. They're chicken taco people, but they want something to go on there, and it does really well at the farmers markets.
Oh, I can definitely see that one being a wild success. Definitely to bridge that gap, and that is a very important step for a lot of folks, because that could be the sauce that comfort level could build them up to where they're like, all right, so I do want to try something with a little bit more heat, and then they just kind of work their way into liking and trying and getting into new things. That's very nice to hear that you have that available for those that are out there. And it sounds like it's working out great. The other great thing is it sounds like you don't have to worry about someone using your hot sauce before you can, with your with your family not really
Yeah,
being into spicy hot stuff. So
yeah. I I've got all I want. So there's a few that I keep in the fridge from uh, that really stand out to me that I'll use on things. And yeah, I I don't have to sneak anything around.
yeah, yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay. So you mentioned you had some hobbies where there was essentially some people that have also tried. some of your hot sauce. What other hobbies are you into? Is this an outlet, being able to create sauce to more or less escape the hecticness that is coming from work, or is this just pure passion for you?
Yeah, I would say it's kind of an outlet, a creative outlet. Um, I was in a band for a long time, and so I had that for 15 years, sort of a creative outlet, writing and playing guitar. But yeah, I really like trying new stuff with making hot sauce, which is one of the things that I don't want to give up until I'm forced to. Being able, be able to make a new sauce whenever I feel like it. Um, and then I play ice hockey, so that's sort of
Okay.
my physical outlet.
Okay.
Um, and so a lot of the ice hockey guys like hot sauce. So that's one of my spots. And then I used to race bicycles, so a lot of those guys are still around, and I'm friends with.
All right, I like that. I can definitely relate on the ice hockey side of things. I have tried. I've tried before to try to learn how to play an instrument. Not too great. The closest I got to really being able to learn an instrument was drums. The family members. I had a family member get me a guitar before. It was just an acoustic one to try to start learning, and uh, it didn't work out well for me. And I ended up just actually smashed it and then smashed it with a skateboard because I was into skateboarding at the time. I guess I still kind of am, just haven't skated in a while. Um, and so, yeah, other than that, hockey's like that. That's pretty much the only sport I keep up with. My son has been playing hockey since he's 4. And so he's got 11 years done, and he's having a ball with it. He's now got into golf. There's kind of that correlation between golf and hockey, and
Yeah,
he's been just really dominating with golf. So I'm glad for him to be able to find that. But yeah, hockey's a lot of fun.
yeah. I I just started playing about this will be my it's about a year and a half, almost 2 years of hockey.
Okay.
Started as an old man, but I'm loving it.
Yeah, the more or less the beer leagues are always a lot of a fun time to really kind of get together. My brother-in-law, at one point they were both playing. Now I think I only have one that still actively plays in a league. Before the start, you see a lot of the dads roll in with a nice 24 pack, and they're like, an hour and a half early, right?
Yeah,
It's like 30 minutes of just chilling in the locker room and knocking them back, and then yeah, getting out there on the ice. So
yeah, and
it
then one or two after,
yeah, yeah,
you know,
it's all
hanging with
in
the
good
boys.
fun. On the bike side of things, man, you know how like there's there's people that things just don't work out very well for. I absolutely love riding. I used to ride around I had a like an old school mongoose bike, and I loved it to death. And man, I would just pedal my heart out and try to hit all these. We had this open field in the back behind my mom's house that there was like trees and all this other stuff, but this nice open patch. And so we would dig out ramps essentially to have this work out. But man, while I could hit these ramps and I could do it, I was the most clumsy person, or most bad luck. I wouldn't say clumsy, most bad luck person on a bike, because it didn't matter. I would try to hit these crazy things and somehow just eat the handlebars, bash up my shin, like nothing. I very rarely landed anything. It was a lot of fun until it wasn't.
Yeah, yeah, that's a young man's game.
Yeah, yeah. But that's kind of what led me to. So I tried rollerblading, which I was good at, and that's kind of what led me to playing street hockey as a kid. And then From there, I got into really trying to get into the whole bike game. That didn't work out. Like I said, ended up hurting myself way too much. And then from there, I ended up getting into skateboarding. And while I was still hurting myself, it wasn't to the same degree that I was hurting myself with, biking. I guess really the only one I didn't ever really injure myself, thinking back on it, was really rollerblading. I probably should have just like stuck with that because I was able to do some pretty fun and cool things, but still didn't stop me from getting some of those soap shoes with the little grind plates in there. And every rail that I saw or every curb that I found, I'd go to town on it.
Just just a menace.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was a lot of fun. So much fun. Jumping out of trees, trying to hit rails and hoping that I didn't slip back and bust my head on the metal piping. Yeah. Well, but
Yeah, that was never my thing. I yeah, it always looked fun, but no, I'm not that kind of coordinated.
well, fair enough. I still think at least I attribute it to people that are into, spicy food, are typically adrenaline junkies in one way or form. And I mean, I've always had my outlet of adrenaline uh, driving avenues, if you will. There for a while, it was the military, right? There was just like high adrenaline situations to get into, and that was fun until it wasn't. Now I eating stuff that melts my face off to continue to chase that adrenaline. Has there been a time, and what was it from, where you ate something and it was just so insanely hot that it had you basically panicking from eating it?
Um, yes. So my day job is that I work in construction, and there's specifically a time on a job site on the back of somebody's truck where they pull out some, a couple of the Hispanic guys are pulling out lunch and offer me some, and you know, I like food and I love Mexican food, and I kind of know not to trust them, but but it was one of those naive moments, earlier in my construction career, and you ask them if they're spicy, and they're like, "No, not bad. No, it's not spicy." And then two bites in, the second bite, and it's just eyes watering, pain, no beer because we're at work, no milk, just just gonna put on your brave face, wipe the tears away, and finish lunch so that you're not called names for the rest of your life.
Oh man. Was it a pepper, or what was
I
it?
I think it was just like whole jalapenos sliced up, and they I know jalapeno doesn't sway a lot in this
Oh,
kind of crowd, but man, some grilled jalapenos just layered on a taco, it can be pretty brutal when you're not expecting it.
oh yeah, it definitely. And I mean, you also run into the elusiveness of it all is really the idea of a rogue pepper in general. So it doesn't matter if it's a jalapeno or what. There's always those outliers that hit harder than just the standard, right? And to be caught with one of those, I mean, you'll hear stories too about some folks where they've eaten a jalapeno, and like, to give some context to that as well, they'll say that they've had a jalapeno that actually rocked them harder than a habanero. And it's all about those you know anomalies that do happen. Sometimes you'll just have some that have zero heat, and then others that just blow you away.
Yeah, jalapenos are one of those nasty ones that they've kind of been bred in so many different directions that one could be, I mean, just the tip top, you swear that's more Scoville than what jalapenos are supposed to be. And then you get one from somewhere else and it's a bell pepper.
Definitely want to jump on over to the game, so let's go ahead and kick it on over to the five. here we go. We have the 5. Now, this is a very unique game in the sense that it has 2 rounds. So, what we'll do is I will show you 5 different images, all one at a time, and you have to rank them. There's where we have on the left-hand side the numbers 1 through 5. 1 could be the best, or 5 could be the best. And I have seen it where someone has selected initially starting out with 1 to be the best, and all of a sudden had to flip it to where 5 was the best. So, no worries there. And it's going to be, these are going to be pretty interesting. Some of the topics may align, some of the topics may not align. It's kind of the fun of this one. But here we go.
Yeah. Let's go.
Whataburger.
Oh no. So I'm thinking this is going to be like a fast food ranking.
I
You
don't
give me
know.
any clues,
Could
or I
be
just have to go with it?
Yeah, it could be anything.
Huh. I mean, I'm a big fan of Whataburger. Their green chili burger is on my list. So let's go with 2.
All right.
I'm going to put the Whataburger at 2.
All right. I like it. I definitely, I'm not one to typically do their specialty burgers, but gosh, what do they call it? The Southern Bacon Double. Oh my goodness, it is so good. It's something about substituting that lettuce for that extra crunchy coleslaw that is just phenomenal. And then it's got the double meat, double cheese, double bacon, like perfection. Just add in those grilled
All right.
jalapenos and you're set. All right. Up next, it's barbecue.
Mm.
Doesn't have to be this barbecue, but just barbecue.
You know, honestly, I know I'm from Texas. I'm not a big barbecue fan. Um, let let's put it at 4.
All right. I like it. Nice safe play. Are you one, so like I know my wife is very particular about the type of wood that they use for smoking a lot of the different meats for barbecue, which is why I typically keep apple wood on hand, and that's like the main one that she can kind of deal with because it's not too smoky, it's not too bitter. Is it kind of one of those things for you, or do you're not a big fan of it in general?
Um, I unless it's a top tier barbecue place, I think they're in general more beloved than they're worth.
Fair
So I
enough.
mean, I'd rather have a steak than a sliced brisket.
I definitely can agree with that one. Definitely can agree with that. All right, we have football.
Man, well,
Just throwing you for a loop on this one.
hmm. Now I'm guessing it's just Texas stuff.
I don't know.
So, it, I'm a big fan of football. I played some football in high school. Uh, really got into college football this year. I'm gonna put football at number 1.
All right.
I think it's gonna be hard to beat football.
All right. Very, very bold play here. Up next, we have family.
Oh no. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess family's gonna have to go at 3, and then I'm just gonna have to just bite the bullet on whatever you picked last.
Oh man. Yep. This one
So,
might have been aligned a little bit more rough than it could
it,
have been. Then now we have Fort Worth. So Fort Worth is number
okay.
5 on the list.
Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of my hometown, so it's a bummer to put it at the bottom of the list.
Yep.
But I mean, if I could move family, then this wouldn't be such a bad list.
Where would you want
The
to put family?
number 1. I
Number 1,
mean,
and
my
everything else just
my
shift.
wife and kid are everything. Yeah, if you gave me that option, I could live with it.
Okay.
I'd put Fort Worth above barbecue, but you know, it's a game.
Yeah, yeah. No, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Let's run it back this time for a different round. So, here we go. Round number 2 of the 5. We have pepper extract.
No, this is going 5. That was the easy layup.
Yep, yep.
You,
I felt bad for the last game, so I had to come out with something that wasn't the worst setup, if you will.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you could have snuck that in late and really been bad, but yeah, I'll take that one as a gimme.
yep, yep. I had, like I said, had to be a little bit fair because I know that last one was a little bit rough. All right, so fresh peppers. That's all this is supposed to represent.
Fresh peppers.
Yep, a nice plethora of freshies.
Um, you know, I'm gonna take that as fresh peppers as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
and I eat a lot of not hot peppers. I grew a lot of sweet peppers this year.
Okay.
Um, so I'm gonna put peppers at 2.
All
You
right.
might have something better than peppers, but
I think that's a very smart play. Definitely do. All right, we have chili oil. So chili crisp, chili oil.
hmm,
Typically find it at Asian restaurants. Some there is
yeah,
a like a Mexican spin on this as well. So
yeah. I don't mind chili oil, but it's usually more of a sriracha move if I'm getting Asian food. So I'm gonna put it at 4.
all right, like it. Up next, we have pepper powder. So just ground up peppers.
Okay. Well, they're definitely not better than fresh peppers. I mean, they've got lots of use in the culinary world. You got everything from, I mean, paprika is ground peppers, cayenne. Um, but they'll be good at 3.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with.
I think you just played this hand like superb
Give
because
me hot sauce.
up last is hot sauce.
There we go. Yeah, that's and this is probably where I would have put these if you just gave me the list.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Like I said, that first game was a little bit brutal. This one, normally I'll do it the other way around. The very first game's a little bit more easy going, kind of a layup. But I started to notice that there's been a catch on, in a sense of guests are noticing that there's a pattern and a rhyme, and so then they play the second hand super fast and with ease. So I figured flipping the roles, we might get a little bit
Oh,
more of a game and a little bit more of a challenge going on. So,
yeah, no, that was fun.
well, glad you enjoyed it. And once again, for all those watching and listening, let me know in the comments if you would have played that a little bit different or if your answers lined up exactly with David's. Well, now here's the fun part. You had already mentioned it a little bit, kind of being able to have that sounding board from other sauce vendors at North Texas Hot Sauce Fest. But this is your chance to let those know who are, either just starting out or thinking about starting out, what your nugget of knowledge would be for those individuals.
My nugget of knowledge, I would probably say to scale quantity as fast as you can that your time allows. I think if you can keep up demand on a couple of sauces, if they're good enough and people like them, to be coming back for them, to to try to grow them and then experiment a bit on the side. But volume makes such a big difference. The difference between making a batch of 20 bottles and a batch of 120 bottles is not that much time. It's definitely not 6 times as much time.
Very well said. And very easy to apply in the sense of just doing it. The hardest part is that mental block of saying, this is what I'm going to do. And I definitely can see where that would be a very valuable piece of information for all those that are getting going. So thank you so much. Now, you have the chance to nominate someone and put someone on the hot seat. So who would you like to put on the hot seat?
The hot seat, I'm going to go with a couple that I met at the North Texas Hot Sauce Festival in October. They were called Owl and Co. And now they just rebranded to Night Sky Sauce.
All right.
So I nominate Night Sky Sauce. They're out of Wichita Falls, Texas.
All right. Well, Night Sky Sauce, I will be reaching out to find a time to have you on the show. Thank you so much for that nomination, David. Now, the last thing is really letting anyone know where they can find you, how they can find you, and if you have anything interesting you want to let them know about.
Just through socials right now. I don't have a website yet, but Facebook and Instagram at Culture and Kick, just spelled out. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. You can message me or whatever. And then we've got the winter markets going on right now, but the spring market season starts up in March, so we'll be there hitting it hard.
All right. Back in full swing. I like it. Well, hey, David, we only got to really kind of scratch the surface on this, so we'd love to have you back on and dive a little bit deeper. But thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it.
David, thanks so much for being here and being a part of the show tonight. It was an absolute honor having you on here, diving in, learning about your overall growth and everything you've been able to accomplish in this year. Absolutely loved your sauces. If you're looking to keep up with Culture and Kick, I'll have the direct links down below. Reach out, grab yourself a bottle, and really be able to dive in and enjoy these. As I had mentioned before, the Manzano is that limited batch only going for right now during this month. So if you're catching this in the next month, there's going to be a new sauce that'll be rolling out. So definitely check those out as well. And don't forget, brand new episodes drop every Tuesday and Thursday night. Tune in, share this around with other like-minded chili heads, and keep this growing. And Swear Nation could not do this without y'all. So thank y'all so much. Also want to thank podvision.io for being a channel sponsor. And hey, if you're looking to grow your brand, start your brand, you've hit a bump in the road and trying to figure things out, podvision.io for all your needs there, as well as we also have webdx.one. If you're looking for a new website build, you're looking for an integrated CRM to have your automated blasts and everything roll out from a business standpoint, highly recommend checking out webdx.one. Episode 71 is in the books. I'm Brandon Swear, and from everything from the world of hot, this has been The Swear Word.